What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL prediction video on Josh Sweat. I believe the Eagles pass rusher will be traded to the Arizona Cardinals. Now let's get into why. But before we get started, guys, I do have a Josh Sweat story for y'all. So I never really go into my background on this channel, but I played with and played against a lot of NFL talent, a lot of NFL guys who are in the league right now currently, making big money, making big plays, all that good stuff. So I never really go into depth about that stuff with you guys, but I'm gonna give you a Josh Sweat story. So, like I said before, but back when I first started my channel years ago, about 4 years ago, I wasn't a big recruit at all. I got offers, I got good D1 offers and all that stuff, but I was lazy. So I always skipped the camps, always, just did the bare minimum. My talent was great, but I never maximized it to get like the big, super big Michigans and all that stuff. So I got like the lower level D1 offers. But skip all that. So going to Josh Sweat, right? So I'm class of 2014. Josh Sweat is maybe 15 or 16. He's a year or two younger than me. So by the time I seen Josh Sweat with at least this story, he wasn't number one in the country yet. Josh Sweat ended up being number one player in the country like a year or two later. So at that time, his teammate, a guy named Andrew Brown, he played in the league for a short stint. I don't know where he's at now, but he was with the Cincinnati Bengals for a certain amount of time. He was an all-world D tackle, all-world, I think, guard or tackle. Uh, Good, same size as me, 6'1". He might have been a little bigger than me. He's probably about 6'3", about 285, 300. I was 6', 6'1", about 300, right? So at that time, Andrew Brown, number one player in the country, Josh Sweat was up and coming still, but he was still nice. So long story short, I seen as a play. Well, first off, I didn't play that game. I just fractured my wrist the game before, but that game, I made a game winning sack, by the way. That game clinched us to be in the playoffs for the first time in school history. So the coaches decided to sit me out for that one game and save me for the playoffs, right? So Josh Sweat, so I gotta see this from the sideline. Josh Sweat, he jumped over my left tackle. He jumped over a full young man, a full man. My quarterback got the ball, took a couple steps back, felt the pressure, and started to roll out right. Josh Sweat was on the right side, but the quarterback was running the opposite way. So Josh Sweat jumped over our left tackle and ended up getting to my quarterback and tripping him up for a sack. But the way I'm explaining it is not giving it justice. It was amazing to see him jump over a full man and still sack our quarterback was insane. And back then, prior to his senior year, he was tall, long, and skinny. He wasn't having all that muscle yet. He got that later in high school, a year or two later. But at that time, he was just skinny, strong, but long arms, quick as I don't know what. But on to the story, on to real life now. I think he will be traded. I think he'll be traded, and here's why. He holds a lot of value because only 26. He has solid play. He's not, nothing special, no disrespect, but he has a decent contract, a year and $13 million left, so it's easily tradable. I don't think with the scheme change and also with the injury history of Josh Sweat, I don't think, and also before we even get to the negative stuff, the injury history and stuff, Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is there. They drafted him for a reason. Howie Roseman loved to stop pass rushers, especially young pass rushers. I just saw today they re-signed Brandon Graham to another one-year deal, so he'll be back. I think Nolan Smith slide into Josh Sweat's starting spot. And then the rumor is the Eagles are trying to either get Bryce Huff or Danielle Hunter. So I just think all signs point to maybe Hassan Riddick being traded. Maybe he stays for just one more year. But I think Josh Sweat definitely is moved on from. And the Cardinals, to me, is the best choice. Jonathan Gannon cannot be happy with the pass rush last year. That's why his name is so not his name, but his team is so rumored to be in the hunt for all the pass rushers. They're in the rumor mill for Danielle Hunter. the rumor mill for Brian Burns, the rumor mill for Bryce Huff. But I don't know if any of those guys will want to play in Arizona. They're a rebuild, they're upcoming project team. They're not anywhere solidified yet. So I would say that's more of a fit for a guy like Josh Sweat, who's not on that level of Hunter and those guys, but he's still solid. Gives you about 5 sacks per year. Clearly his best year numbers wise was in 2022, but that was the year the Eagles' whole entire defense had 1,000,000 sacks. They had, I think they broke a sack record for the whole league, in league history for a team. I think it was 76 or whatever number it was, 80 plus, whatever it was. So I think, Josh Sweat does hold some trade value, but does hold some concern as well about injury history and stuff like that. So I think he will fit well, though, with the Cardinals. Give them a legit, solid pass rusher that, like I said, good sack numbers, nothing too great, but also can play the run pretty okay. Nothing amazing, but like he's okay both sides. Okay pass rusher, okay run stopper. But a little thing though I did see last year, a lot of one-on-ones he ended up getting, it wasn't, he kind of got stonewalled in a lot of those options there, a lot of those one-on-one moves there. But other than that, though, like I said, Josh Sweat to me is a good talent, knows how to play ball, good technique, good at everything for the most part. Just depends on, a scheme he can go to now that fits him more. And I do believe, looking at Vic Fangio's history and his scheme, a guy like Bryce Huff fits that a little bit more. And some people say, I've seen some Eagles fans say, how would you trade a pass rusher like Sweat or Hassan Reddick just to bring in another pass rusher in Bryce Huff and or Danielle Hunter? But I say, one, you're trading for upside because Bryce Huff, even though I believe Huff and Sweat are the same age or around the same age, I did a prediction video on Huff about a month ago on him going to the Lions. I like Huff a lot. But Huff has more raw potential right now than Josh Sweat does. No question about it. Huff, in the non-starting role last year, gave you about 10 sacks, 10 plus sacks. So you would think pairing him with even more better elite talent on that D-line front, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, some more guys that's more explosive than the Jets guys, he might can give you more, even greater pass rate, greater success rate, stuff like that. And he had great numbers all the way last year. I think he was right under Max Crosby for some of those, super deep pass rushing stats. So, if you wanna say, that's the reason why you want to trade Sweat to bring in Huff, that makes sense. I'm cool with that as a non-Eagles fan. That makes sense to me. It definitely does make sense. But I think Sweat needs to go to a good spot too, where he can succeed and thrive at. And as we've seen that Jonathan Gannon scheme, he doesn't have the players of that Eagles team, but he definitely has, the same game plan, same scheme. And if you can bring some other guys in with Sweat in either the draft or free agency or a trade, that would be the best case scenario. So I think the Cardinals are a great fit. Some more teams out there, but I'm really leaning toward the Cardinals for Josh Sweat and his services this upcoming season. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.